Okay, guys, so since for some reason the audio didn't go through in my first recording, I am making another one, unfortunately. So, in response to this week's discussion about sustainable development goals, I decided to tackle this kind of looking at Canada as a whole first and then at Toronto specifically. So, I did a little bit of reading into Canada's 2030 agenda, national strategy for sustainability, and that contains a few components. Of course, they're tackling all of the sustainability goals as best as they can, but the way that they're doing this is through basically assigning to each of their federal organizations different sustainability goals that they are involved in and that they need to try to help reach, like which goals each department focuses on, as well as assigning which department will lead each goal. They're also measuring their progress on towards the goals using what they call the quality of life framework, which is measured through Statistics Canada, which is the group that will perform a review every 3 years to monitor the progress and consider new data and new issues that come in as the wealth of knowledge builds about sustainability and climate and all that stuff. So then focusing specifically on Toronto, a few of the initiatives that I found that they are working on is reducing emissions by 80% by 2050, which is connected to goal number 7. They're focused on renewable energy for city-owned buildings as well as privately owned buildings, but initially focused on converting city-owned buildings into renewable, using renewable energy. That's goals 11 and 9. Next is minimizing landfill deposits, so trying to come up with a new system for disposing of waste to reuse and repurpose as much waste as they can. That goes to goal number 12. They're also trying to convert as much of the city as possible into using electric vehicles. That's not only for personal use among citizens, as well as converting to electric vehicles for government associations. Additionally, they are working on protecting pollinator species, so your bees, butterflies, birds, all of those things, which is necessary for promoting biodiversity among animals, plants, and everything, as well as working on a carbon credit for the city. So for those who take measures to reduce their carbon emissions, they get a carbon credit, and that's a project that's still kind of in the works. One of the things that I found Toronto is struggling with, though, is poverty, which really goes to goal number 1, as well as a few others, and I'll get into that in a second. But Toronto has made a lot of progress in terms of poverty and low income people that are struggling with low incomes. As of the 2017 report for the Toronto Poverty Reduction Strategy, a few key points were there was a major increase in affordable homes. So 4,000 affordable homes were built or repaired. Those are homes to own, not to rent. An additional 1,200 approximately affordable rental units were built. There was a big increase in childcare spaces, like locations, as well as an increase in shelter capacities by 30%. There was an increase in youth programs, education, lower rates for public transportation, and all these things are very good things, but there's still a lot of progress that Toronto needs to make when it comes to poverty levels, because the last statistic that I read was approximately 20% of Toronto is living on considered low income. One of the things that they are doing that I found was really great was they have an organization called the Lived Experience Advisory Group, which gets together a whole bunch of people who have lived through various experiences related to, you know, low income financial struggles, food insecurity, water insecurity, housing insecurity, all of those things. And so they bring a bunch of different people to come and tell their lived experiences, their real life stories, and give their insight into what they think really needs to change. Because a lot of the time, when you have government officials who may be very educated but haven't actually been in that experience, the things that they come up with might not really hit the mark. And so it's a really, really good thing that they're bringing in people who have lived through the struggles to make sure that the real needs are getting met. So something else I think that I would hope that they would focus on, especially going into this whole sustainability initiative. It's a very large and wide-reaching problem, sorry. And so there's a ton of programs that are going to come out of this, that already have come out of this. But a big thing that I think they should focus on is creating new education and training that is not expensive, that is really going to help a lot of the people, especially low income people that work in these unsustainable industries, to help transition into this kind of new world and new way of living. That's what I think they should really focus on. So that's what I have for now, and I'm gonna keep reading. Thank you guys for watching.